So if you have any questions about these two courses, you can ask. For ADS, prerequisites are linear algebra, probability, and statistics. So these two are the main prerequisites, plus fair bit of machine learning techniques, right? So you must remember some key ML algorithms, right? In supervised learning, unsupervised learning, not so much, right? So, but more important is probability, statistics, and linear algebra. So that would be the prerequisites that you should have. You must be quite good in both these areas if you wish to take this course. Which course? Is ADS or Gen AI course? Which one? So algorithms for data science, it gives you a flavor of some of the algorithms that you can use when your data set is huge or the feature space is huge. So the course is divided into two parts. The first 6 weeks, we will do algorithms that scale with data. So these are like some algorithms that were introduced or invented in the last 20 years or so, right? So recent advances, or rather more recent than whatever we learnt in MLT. So they'll kind of give you a sense of algorithms that go over and beyond what you learnt in MLT, MLF. So for example, we learnt PCA, SVD in MLT. Now we will discuss something called randomized PCA, randomized SVD in this course. So we studied k-means in MLT. In this course, we will study something called spectral clustering, which is a slightly different kind of approach to clustering data. So it gives you a different perspective the first 6 weeks. The next 6 weeks is what we call statistical learning theory. So that is kind of, it gives you a sense of what it means for a machine to learn, right? So what does it mean when we say that, say you are training a model and your model is generalizing well. So if you recall studying things like core fitting, underfitting, and bias variance, so we'll go deeper into these concepts. So in that sense, it will give you a better idea of what machine learning is, right? So will it help you in getting a good job or things like that? I don't know. But if you want to get a better sense, a deeper understanding of machine learning itself, right? And some variety in terms of basic machine learning, right? Not deep learning, but classical ML. So that this will give. So that is the aim of this course also, to give you to expand the horizons of what we traditionally know as ML. So that's the idea. Okay, any other questions you can please ask.
So ADS is something which we should ideally do when we are close to completing the degree, right? Because then we can, as we go out, if we want to study further, it will probably help that we are in that mode in which we are thinking more deeply about how ML works.
In a sense, yes. So, but should you do it at the end? I am not sure. So you could do it before also. So see, the idea is this is kind of a follow-up to MLT course, right? So if you have done machine learning theory, machine learning techniques, then you can take ADS next. So So in fact, Professor Arun on campus, right, in his on-campus course called PRML, Pattern Recognition and Machine Learning, he does a bit of ADS syllabus in the offline course, right? So in our program, we have not covered that part called statistical learning theory, which we cover in ADS. In the machine learning course itself, we have separated it out. But yeah, you could do it right now also, or you could do it a bit late. Yeah, so I wouldn't say that it should be the last course that you should do before going out, but if you do this course, as you pointed out, right, it is a good idea. If you are interested in research, it's a good idea to do this course because many of the ideas are quite close to uh, they are like from research papers that are recent, right? By recent, I don't mean last 1 or 2 years, but maybe last 10 years, 20 years. Okay, so Nitin, do you have? Nitin can maybe.
Yes. So if you have any questions for the NAI course, you can please ask about the syllabus, content, whatever you have doubt on. Please, you can ask here.
Yeah, hi Nitin, Srinivasan here.
Yeah,
My
hi,
question
sir.
was, would you have any initial presentation and we should ask questions, or should we just ask questions straight away?
I don't have any presentation as such, but I can, if you want, I can present the syllabus of that course and the grading policy that we have finalized. If you want, I can present that thing.
Yeah, that'd be great. And if it is okay with Karthik, can I add one line about the ADS course as a student?
That will be better because you have done it and you'll give a better perspective. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So it was yes, it is a mathematical course, and definitely I don't think there is any thing, but you get an aha kind of a moment when I did the assignments, and particularly when you did the programming assignments, you could see I'm not very good at visualization, but when you do the assignment, you print the spectral clustering, for example, and you see how well that your code can actually differentiate two clusters. It just gives you a very interesting perspective on the techniques that we learn and the code that we use without really thinking, right? We just focus on semantics, but it gives a deeper meaning behind ML. Maybe I'm trying to make it philosophical, but that is basically what it is. So it would generally there is a feeling that people can learn to use the tools, but if you understand the algorithm behind the tools, it will make you a better engineer, right? And maybe a more complicated question in the interview, you may be able to answer because you understand the funda behind the technique. And I would put ADS in that category. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so should I present the NAI course syllabus and the grading policy?
Yes, Nitin, thank you. Yeah, it looks like I am the only one interested in GenAI here. Yeah.
No, so let me go through the course content once. It won't take much time. Okay, so I didn't prepare any slides or presentation as such. I thought it's just a question answer. So here you can see the screen, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so this GenAI course is more on the mathematical side. So where rather than discussing the architectures in detail, we discuss about the model itself, the principles and the mathematics behind those models, how they work on these mathematics behind those models. We cover there. Okay, for all those models, we don't cover architecture as such, but the models, how they work, what is the mathematics behind these are covered in the lectures, right? Apart from that, we also have the implementations of those models using PyTorch, and those are also provided as a course, as a tutorials in every weeks. Okay, so in the starting, we have introductions to generative models, what generative models are, and then we move to the different models, different generative models. So in the starting, we cover then adversarial networks, generative adversarial network, and their different variants. So week 2, 3, and 4 covers GAN in details, and there are different variants like W GANs and Y GANs and everything. Okay, so these first 4 weeks cover about the what generative models are and what is GANs. Okay, next we move to the another kind of models, generative model, which is variational autoencoders, VAE. And week 5 and 6 cover VAE and their different variants. Okay, and then we move to the other types of generative model, which is probabilistics model, DDPM, denoising diffusion probabilistic model, that comes under week 7. Week 8 we cover diffusion models and their implementations. And their variants as well in the week 9. So week 8 and 9 cover diffusion model. Then we move to the autoregressive models, LLM, that we have seen in other courses as well. If you've done LLM and DL as well, we have introduction to the autoregressive models, right? So here we cover autoregressive models in week 10. Then reinforcement learning based alignment methods, RLHF, right? That we cover in week 11. Then week 12 covers state space models. So this is the syllabus for this course, and all these weeks cover the mathematics behind these models and their implementations as well. Okay, and for the grading, this has 2 quizzes and 1 final exam, as we have 4 other courses, and there is 1 NPP as well, and that NPP will be on Kaggle platform. Okay, and that we will give the dates for the NPP later, but it most probably will be in around week 8 or 9, and it will cover the content from week 1 to week 8. So we have only one NPPs that will cover that will mostly cover the implementations of all those models in PyTorch. Quizzes are as usual that we have in center, and they have so quizzes had 20% weightage, graded assignments has 10% weightage, final exam has 30% weightage, and the NPP will have 20% weightage. So this is the tentative grading policy. If there are any changes, we will let you know in advance. But this is the final version of the grading. So if you have any doubts regarding this course or content, you can ask.
One smaller question is, the NPP, is it for a few days, like the DL programming, or is it going to be for a short time?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
In DL program, DLP, right? DL practice, we get NPP for 3 days, right? So we basically, the duration is for 3 days.
Yeah,
is it similar for GenAI?
Yeah, here also NPP will be for 2 days. So it's the format you can think same as we have in DLP, but here we will be using only PyTorch.
Okay, thank you. And then that question, like the ADS course, what would be the mathematic that would be required for the maths that will be required for the GenAI course? Because the actual full name is Mathematical Foundation for GenAI.
Yes, so this is a very math-heavy course. So your fundamentals of linear algebra statistics should be good. Okay, so here we cover only the mathematics behind the models. As I mentioned, we don't cover the architectures as such. So, and the professor has done all the statistic linear algebra. He has taken that approach only. So you should be your fundamentals of linear algebra and stats should be clear. The prerequisite for this course is DL, so you can do any time after you have finished your DL course.
Yeah, thanks, Nitin. I am in the PG part, so this is a mandatory course for me, so I have to do it, and that's the only one left for me. I finished the other 2, so I will be registering for GenAI, regardless of what I know about it. But this adds to the information. Thank you so much, and I'll wait for others' questions.
Yeah, yes, sure.
Servan, general question. I think the academics page has been updated. So in that, MLOps was first in degree level, but now it appears to have shifted. Okay, it is in degree level 2. And then because algorithms for data science is showing in PG diploma level courses, and then there is an MTech level as well now. So how does that affect us? Like ADS being in degree level as well and in PG diploma level.
Sorry, what is the question? Like, so this is a elective and a core course for MTech. So how does that?
For PG diploma.
Yeah.
So
So that. Yeah.
so like if we do it, because if we, for example, we do, for example, ADS and BS degree level. So if for example in BSc level we just do other courses, and we probably reserve this key, we will do ADS and Gen AI foundation, math foundations, because like this it's math heavy course, right? But then I think with the ADS and Gen AI mathematical foundation course, if anybody is going into core research, right, at any level, in fact, in terms of, I think from the syllabus it appears as if even if you want to do very advanced research, you'll be in a very good position if you do ADS and Gen AI together, right? So if we, for example, we defer it to first completing all the mandatory courses in BS degree. If we want any practical courses, we do any of, maybe we do deep learning practice or something, right? And then when we are completing the BS degree, at that level we take Gen AI and ADS, because then we may want to exit the degree and then go for research, or any other opportunity in terms of working for a company and also doing research, or maybe a AI focused startup or something, right? If we go there, maybe at that time, being in a state of flow, being in a state of mind, which these courses specifically will put us in, may be beneficial. Is that something which may happen?
Could happen. Yeah. So it might happen, especially for the Gen AI course. Then might maybe be able to tell you better, because it's far more mathematical. So I think the prof does a thorough job of the, when he means mathematical foundations of Gen AI, he really means it, I think. So in the case of ADS, right, it's so see, roughly half of the course would be like cutting edge. No, I won't say cutting edge. Half of the course will be new algorithms you have not seen. So see, things like, there's an algorithm called spectral clustering, as I was talking before, right? So spectral clustering is not so new, right? It's quite old. So it has been around for some time. So, but then there are portions of the course. So prof in fact discusses, towards the end of the course, he discusses something. Some topic in statistical learning theory, where he says that there is an open problem that has been unsolved for 30 years. So those kinds of things will be very much germane to research, right? So for example, you might think along those lines, and you might want to see if you can take a stab at that problem. So there are opportunities for that. So in that sense, what you're saying is right. But I would say that it's more applicable to, say, Gen AI than to ADS, because ADS is like, it's a mix of old and new. So okay.
Okay, so Gen AI is focusing more on the recent math and which is being commercialized, and ADS is a mix of the new stuff which is still unsolved and the old things which work, right?
Yeah, you'll have a fair bit of both. So you'll have a reference to PCA, SVD, which are all quite old, and then some variations of these algorithms which are relatively new. Again, by new, I'm what I mean is, say, 20 years, right? So not like the Gen AI kind of new. Gen AI new would be like, say, maybe last decade, because it's post deep learning, right? So so that is the distinction. Okay, so since Nitin had shared this, I'll also maybe share very quickly, because some of you might want to know the assignment structure and all that. So in ADS, see, in ADS there is no quiz 1. Okay, we only have a quiz 2 and an end term. There are assignments in even weeks. So you will have. In fact, we don't have a week 12 assignment. You have only 5 assignments. So week 2 to week 10, you'll have 5 assignments. and these will be mostly objective type, and exam will also be objective type. So there is a bonus assignment. So you'll have 2 programming assignments, and they will count to 5 marks out of 100. If you pass the course, you will get this depending on how you perform. So we will be evaluating it. So the total bonus marks is 5. So that is the grading policy. So if you look at the total score, it goes like this. So 35% will go towards quiz 2, 45% for the final exam, and then 20% for the assignments. Okay, so that's the general pattern.
So exams of ADS and Gen AI will be pen paper based or it will be objective type?
Objective, yeah, both will be objective. So Gen A also is objective, right, Nitin?
Yes, it will be objective only on TCS platform.
Sir, so like I joined just now, like this ADS algorithms for data science will be mathematical based, like theoretical or practical.
Yeah, so it will be a theory based course, so very much theoretical in nature.
Okay, the mathematical.
Yeah. Not There will be quite some mathematics. You will also have some coding that will be there as an extra component, but then the emphasis is on the theory.
So someone who is interested in research, this course is for those or any other, or like anyone can take it.
Anyone interested in research, see, there are different kinds of research, right? So all research is not theoretical. In fact, only a small portion of research is in the machine learning theory or deep learning theory. So if you are the kind of person who likes theory in general, right? So you want to understand how maybe say chat GPT, how does it work? You know basic LLMs, what they are, but then if you want to dig deeper and understand where these generative models come from, then you might want to do a Gen AI course, right? Or if you want to understand a few other aspects of classical ML, you might want to come to ADS, right? So I wouldn't call it a research. Anyone who is interested in the mathematical foundations of machine learning and deep learning in general might want to take these 2 courses, right? So if you, I wouldn't say that.
At least for Gen AI, right? If
Yeah.
you understand the terms, what they mean, I think it will be useful in the context of you being ready to start reading some papers. So at least in that sense, it's useful to quote unquote research, but maybe not to actually do research. So I think over there is no coursework that can help you. It can only prepare you to perhaps be ready to sort of assimilate material, but more than that, I don't think any coursework would take you anywhere unless you join like some seminar courses on campus where people actually look at cutting edge papers and present it. That's the only way you can, at least that's one way I can see a course actually being helpful for research. But other than that, this would probably give you that mathematical maturity and also some context so that you would be able to start reading more papers in the field. So that's how I see these 2 courses.
Yeah, so see, there are these, as Vivek mentioned, right? You have these what are called topics in so and so courses, right? So there are this happens on campus in some universities. In IITM online, so offline it happens. So there is sometimes profs run this course called topics in deep learning or topics in say machine learning. So a topics course
So
would
this
typically
semester there is a topics in RL course by Ravindran sir and the topics in Gen AI course by Mitesh sir. So even though the sirs are present, it is it mostly what happens is it is the student that goes through some paper allotted to him and he presents it in the class. And the exams are also completely based upon the papers that are presented in it. So more than the prof, it is the students who kind of communicate and do the work in each other. It's a nice sort of setting, especially when you look at being able to do like research goals. So perhaps if you are close to some campus where you can go and audit these things, I think that would be quite beneficial when it comes to that point of view, at least. Yeah.
right. So that might be a research oriented course, right? So yeah, it would be nice to think of such courses in our program also, but at present, not yet. We are not ready for that, I guess.
So both the courses are mathematical heavy, right?
Yes, yeah. Okay, is there anything else that you would like to ask us? We have kind of covered whatever overview we have. Yes, yeah, Rajiv.
Yes. Good evening, sir. My doubt is regarding what supports should we expect for GenAI course?
Nitin,
Sorry. What is your question? What support?
Yeah.
So support. What do you mean by support?
Any live session like
Yeah. So there will be one weekly live session, regular live session that will cover that weekly content. Apart from that, Bill might give you some research paper related to those content as well, and some resources where you can learn about those mathematical concepts that are being used in those models. So such content we can provide you. Apart from
okay.
that, we have also tutorials
Yeah.
in the lectures. Any other thing
Okay,
that
sir.
you are asking for, or this support?
No, sir. No, sir. Only support to what kind of live session? Any peer
Weekly
session?
live
Like.
session will be there.
Okay, sir. Okay, got it. Thank you, sir.
okay, any other questions? If not, we'll.
So might get flagged for this, but if we are interested in research, but more oriented towards commercial research, so research which startups or people in Silicon Valley they end up doing and we end up hearing about, and for example the kind of research Mitesh sir is doing with AI for Bharat, right? And all these AI startups are coming up. If we are interested more towards that research which is oriented towards actually also developing solutions which can be commercialized really fast using the new technologies, and then we want to actually have that mindset, and even if we focus on research, we also focus on the application part of it. In that context, which subjects are more relevant for us?
See, I don't know if ADS or GenAI. So apart from modulo, the point that Vivek made that it will prime you to, study, get more, comfortable reading research papers in general.
Hmm.
If you that point, once you concede that, I don't know if either of these courses will help you in any kind of applied research, right? So, or see, once you go to applied research, where you are focusing on building products, you are kind of drifting closer to engineering and less. So you want some ROI, and you are not chasing ideas for the sake of ideas, right? You are chasing more of how can I use an idea to get something viable out of it, right? So some product which can compete in the marketplace. So you're kind of moving close to that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So coursework, I am not sure. Any kind of coursework, right? So as Vivek pointed out, even if we create a new course, even if it is a topics course, that will not really get you close to what you do in a startup, right? So others can, yeah. So Vivek, you can maybe comment on this.
Yeah. As I said before, this is just it just gives you the tools, right? And one argument is the fact that these tools are essential for regardless or rather agnostic to what you want to do further in the future. So, and I think that in that sense, these courses are designed. They are core MTech courses, and I think they do that pretty well. But hyper specifically commercial research, I don't know if any of us in this, at least in this call right now, are even eligible to answer that question because we've not undertaken that path ourselves yet. But yeah, so I feel like, as
More
I
like
said, so instead of sorry, yeah,
more like as you said, that doing an internship in some lab or working for some company directly who's working on this project will be more beneficial, right? But
obviously,
how
yeah,
to
because
become attractive to those companies? So even if I can, for example, reach out to some CEOs of these companies, or if I can reach out to some founders who I may know, right? But like just knowing someone is different, but to be attractive in their talent pipeline, right? What kind of subjects would kind of prime me to actually present myself that I have a certain understanding of this, and maybe if given enough time I can actually become of value to your research.
yeah. So first of all, you would require some sort of quote unquote credential or some way to show that you've done these kinds of work before, and that's where, like I said on chat, like some internship experience would be helpful. So getting an internship is not as competitive as probably getting into a company that does really cutting edge research on this. But there are many labs in IIT Madras itself and in other campuses which are looking for such interns. And especially people who are doing this degree as a standalone, they are quite well placed to really make good use of such opportunities. So, and even the selection process for these kind of labs. So, for example, in Senai, I remember seeing that. So I think they released like a huge list of papers, and the idea was you prepare a presentation for one of those, and I think you do the presentation on a Gmeet or something, or probably in person, and that was their selection process. Regardless of you getting selected in or not, what you would essentially be doing, may it be a commercial or research for the sake of research setting, is you will be reading papers at the end. You will be trying to assimilate it, and you will also be trying to communicate it with others. And doing like reading a paper and doing a presentation of it is probably the best way to really go in and do that, right? So one, being able to do that, being able to communicate ideas, two, being able to assimilate them yourself, and four, actually having some proven experience that you've done such things. So that would be like an internship or some research project under any profile. I don't know, like, as long as you get to work on something that is more researchy than coursework, right? So coursework can only give you the tools required, but that's all it can do. There is something else extra, something else that you'll have to really plunge forward and do to get the research part in. So I hope any of these things would help. Yeah, but I think it is an internship or some experience that will get you there. So various people in our program, I remember some person even got, like, he's doing a remote internship from Carnegie Mellon University. Some person in our program only. So things do happen. We should just try to get those opportunities for us, and I think that is the way, at least from a research POV, you could start considering things. Yeah,
Okay, it was super helpful. Thank you.
sure.
Yeah, so in the chat you have asked, someone has asked both courses. See, both these courses will be available in all terms. Okay, starting from
So in grading doc, it's mentioned that next term this both will not be offered.
what is mentioned?
It's like it is mentioned that these both courses are available in this term, and then in next term they will not be available. Then they will be available in May term.
Which grading doc? September.
Yes, sir.
Sit. I don't think so. To my knowledge, it's going to be every term. They might have meant. Okay, where is it given? Which in the grading doc?
Say in the
There
last
is a
where the
grading doc.
electives table
There's
is
a
there.
discussion, I think in the G space also, the degree course, and then I think, probably after the grading doc has been published, probably you might have had discussions locally, and Karthik, you may be mentioning that, saying that since they are core courses, they are likely to be offered every term.
Yeah, I think it will run in every term. If I can check again, we'll have to check again. But these are not usual, or they might have some way in which these will not be electives, and so as electives they may not run for every term, but then for MTech they may run for every term. So I think there should be something like that. Yeah, we'll have to check. So we'll have to check this.
So can you please confirm this once before course registration?
Yeah, I'll ask. Yeah, I'll check.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, from what I know, remember, I may be mistaken. Bharati, I think, was tentative. She didn't give a commitment that this will be available in Jan term, but she said it's likely. That is what I remember from the discussion, but it'll be better if we get a full confirmation.
Okay, yeah. We'll check. Yeah, this might be. I didn't know that it was in Jan. So to check.
That way, all the three courses are in Jan. So obviously, that looks like it is not. It won't be a useful thing, no. So probably there is something there.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to check. Okay. So anything else? So between Gen AI and ADS, which course is better? I don't know. I think both courses are good in their own right. You will have to. It's very hard to say this or that, right? So if you had asked some other pair of courses, we could have maybe commented. But these two are equally. Both are unique. So Gen AI, if you follow the prof on LinkedIn or other platforms, you can see. So that this kind of a course has never been offered before anywhere. So this level of getting into the math foundations. Same with ADS. So ADS, it's very hard to find some of these algorithms explained anywhere. So some of them are only in research papers, and in research papers, it's kind of hard to. They're for a different audience, right? So ADS is also good in that sense. Hard to make a judgment. But if you want a slightly in terms of load, right? ADS will be low, slightly more peaceful because you don't have quiz one. You have only assignments in alternate weeks. But then that might not work for some students. Some students might find it better to have a quiz one, quiz two, and term and assignment every week. Otherwise, they'll not study at all. If you're that kind of a student, then you have to be careful with ADS. But if you are a self-motivated student who can kind of manage with sparse signals, assignment signals in between, then okay, ADS is good for you in that sense. So it's your call finally, which one you want to. Ideally, we would recommend doing both at some point of time because they are very good courses. Good profs at least, right? So both are IAC trained profs. One is in IAC, another is, of course, Arun sir. So they are good teachers. What I meant was they are good, very good teachers. So highly recommend both courses, especially if you like math. Yeah, if you have any other questions, please let us know.
And
Otherwise,
both
we
are
can
equally like tough, you can say.
equally.
Equally tough, like hardness is.
Equally tough. At least the content wise, they are tough. But in terms of assessment, I don't know. So Vivek and I have been in ADS. Nitin has been in Gen A, and we have not looked at each other's question papers. So nor have we looked at each other's courses. Only some student who has done both can comment, right? And I don't know if there are any such no such students will be there in this orientation call, right? We have Srinivasan sir who has done ADS. You can maybe ask. He can comment on this. How tough it is as a student. If you are still there.
No, I think I had posted a chat. This is what I think one person had done both, right? Because that person has actually finished with all the thing ready to start the project at the MTech level.
Oh, okay.
This was a rough comment from them. I don't know whether that is correct. Like the ADS is more of math behind classical ML, and DL maybe, and Gen AI is more of the math behind the newer LLM and similar generative models. That was a rough part. ADS difficulty wise, yes. I think during the previous term, that orientation, September orientation, or May orientation, it was clearly mentioned that they're not going to be easy courses, and people have, and in a way, all the instructors' reputation precedes them. So that way, so generally people ask who are the instructors, and then we tell them, and they understand, okay, that it's going to be, I wouldn't call it, tough, but definitely difficult, right? So you have to put in the time. You can't sleep through the. I mean, you can't just sleepwalk through the term and get good grades, right? You have to put in the effort over time. And ADS, even though the assignments are once in 2 weeks, I tried doing it, and it was difficult to catch up. So it is better to, get going on the assignments over time. And they were really interesting. So, and I felt, Karthik, my assignment scores were lower than my quiz scores, right? So usually the other way around for most people. And that main reason was because I tried to do them in the near the due date. Then I realized later that I shouldn't have done it. So I should have done it, over every week.
Right, yeah.
Sir, the ADS is taken by Arun, sir. And what about the Gen AI, generative
AI? Gen AI you are asking for, right? The professor for that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Professor AP Pratos has taken that course from IIC Bangalore.
And is there any playlist
Yes, playlist public. You can go to the lectures there. If you want, I can give you the link here.
Okay, so if there are,
Sir,
yeah.
is I'm choosing between these two courses or ML Ops? Like, which one is better?
That's a very tough. I really don't know, because it depends on what you're looking for, right? ML Ops is more of a ML deployment, deployability, cloud, and those aspects of ML. So if you like that better than theory, then yeah, it's all hands-on. Yeah, so it totally depends on what you are looking for.
Okay, sir.
I think MLOps
You also share for
over.
ADS.
Sorry, Ritik, you can go. Okay, let me finish. So MLOps, I think orientation is already over. But if I say this, probably are the two ends of the spectrum. MLOps is all hands-on, very little theory. I mean, there is a lot of theory, but you actually look at it as a practitioner and then answer questions.
Yeah, MLOps is more like they're focusing more on the deployment side, right? It's more practical. That is what you're saying.
Yes, I mean, I wouldn't say more practical. It's practically practical, mostly hands-on. So, and there is only one.
So how do they? So I don't remember exactly, but so the evaluation is primarily through the project, right?
If it is okay, can I mention Karthik, Nitin? Because MLOps orientation is already over.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So MLOps is, there is no project. Everything is individual. Every assignment is hands-on. So you have to run the code, create a video, and you have to do the assignments. And assignments are fun, by the way. And so that's one. And then there are two OPPs, again, hands-on, open internet. You can do whatever you want. LLM, anything, right? Gemini, anything you have to. So they actually say, if we used any AI tool, give us the prompt and give us the response of the AI tool. So that is also part of the OPP submission. And so then you can see how hands-on it will be, right? So it is practically like working, and how do you do it? And the end term is for 40 marks in this term, and I don't know that will be different next term, September term. And half the questions in the end term are again scenario-based questions. So it would practically be you have to think like a practitioner and answer the question. Very little theory, very little recollection. It's like, you don't have to remember some particular approach or whatever. Mostly you have to remember how to use it. And obviously ADS and Gen AI, since they are math courses, they can't be hands-on, right? So they have to be theoretical. So that's why I said these are almost two ends of the spectrum.
Okay. So anything else? If
Sir,
not, we
and
can.
recordings like only those sessions which are like uploaded in the YouTube, I can see the recordings, but not the recorded ones in the Google Doc.
Sorry, which recording?
Like of the orientation session. Like,
Orientation session. I don't know what they have done. YouTube link they have for some of them. Recording, I guess we have to upload after the sense.
yes, sir, like which are like streamed on YouTube, those are available, but only the ones which
That's
are
right. Yeah.
recorded.
Yeah, we have to add. I guess we have to. This we'll be adding. The others also will add.
So the ADS is taught by the professor like Neil Dhara Mishra or by Professor Arun Rajkumar?
Arun sir, yeah, Professor Arun.
Okay.
Professor Neeldara is not in the ML side, right? She's more theory, algorithms, theory of, not theory of computation. What do you call that? More along the algorithm side, theory side. That. So that's why she does advanced algorithms and things like that.
Okay, I think in the previous course page or maybe earlier she was taking it, right?
Which one? ADS. So
Okay,
ADS
okay,
is.
so okay. Advanced algorithm she's taking.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah.
Okay, so just like recordings, if you could check.
So no orientation for advanced algorithms and all these other options, or are they not available this term?
That I'm not sure. We'll have to check the sheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, also this will be the last orientation, right, for this term.
I think so. There is one more. I don't know what course that is. That is for I think computer networks and computer networks. That's the only other thing I see. Yeah, this is the last one. For ML side, yeah, this is the last one.
Sir, also you will be the instructor for ADS, right? You and Nitin sir.
So me and Vivek will be the instructors, and Nitin will be for Gen AI.
So you are also in MLP, right? If I remember, or MLT, MLT, I think.
No, I was in MLT, but now recently I've been in deep learning.
Okay, so you take both. Okay, ADS and deep.
Yeah, it keeps changing. So next time I'll be doing MLF. So keeps changing. Okay, so I think that's all we have from our side. So can we close the meeting if there are no other questions?
Sir, and I just want to compare like deep learning and AI problem solving approach, like the two mandatory courses. So is there any connection between those, like deep learning and AI?
Not really. So AI, they are like two different courses, right? So they are AI. What we call AI is actually search methods for problem
Yes, sir.
solving. Yeah. So they are like totally different. So deep learning will be more aligned with what we did in MLT, and so AI may be somewhat more aligned with maybe algorithms, PDSA course, some portions of it at least. So they'll be like different.
Okay, so there is no order between. Like we can take both also in the same term.
Yeah, typically I think students take them together, I believe, more. Yeah, better to ask your peer. So these course combinations, your peers will be able to help you better than instructors because they have done the course. So,
Yes, sir. And for deep learning, it will be good to brush up MLT, right? Like
yeah, yes.
almost all the concepts of MLT will be used, or
Most of them, right? All the basic. So the basic concepts will remain the same. So what is learning, what is a loss function, things like that will be the same, but only the model alone will be different. So yeah.
okay, like the gradient descent and neural networks.
Yeah, there's only one model per se. So in MLT, you would have seen different models. You have say several logistic regression, and linear
Yes, sir.
SVMs and all that. But here there's only one model per se, one model family, which is neural networks.
Yeah, so mostly focused on neural networks.
Yeah.
So the neural network part from MLT, that we should revise. Like if not the entire MLTs.
No. So in MLT, we didn't do neural networks much, right? So yeah, DL
Yes.
it is. In fact, there are some other aspects of MLT might be good to recollect. So especially perceptron. So we revisit perceptron, we revisit overfitting, underfitting, these concepts. We revisit regularization, L2 regularization, and all that. So those aspects you can revise. The last week is not really useful. So we did very little of neural networks in MLT. So that's not at all sufficient, actually.
Okay, so middle weeks, like after week 3 or something.
Yeah, so the supervised learning weeks, you could think of it that way.
Okay.
Not the first 4 weeks, but maybe weeks 5 to 12 are very useful.
Okay, sir. And also that gradient descent.
Yeah, gradient descent is like, it is everywhere, right? So you should be very thorough with that. Yeah. We will revisit gradient descent also in deep learning. So, but yeah, it helps to have a knowledge of gradient descent before you come in.
Okay, sir. And also these two courses are not interlinked at all, like the deep learning and AI. So there is no order. Like one course you should take
No.
first for better understanding of the other.
No, yeah, they are independent of each other.
Okay, sir.
Send for this ADS and Gen AI, having the knowledge of statistics, linear algebra, and deep learning will be sufficient.
Yeah, that should do.
Okay, sir.
Sir, and that problem solving methods for AI. So for that, what should we revise? If you, if you
That
could
I have not.
like,
Actually, I'm a bad person to comment on that. I have
okay.
not done that course before. So, see, they do some. I know that they do some algorithms. Some search algorithms. They revisit DFS, I believe, BFS, DFS. But that's the only knowledge I have. I don't know anything beyond that.
Yeah, so PDSA is a bit more useful for AI, but I think it's a self-contained course. Everything you need to know, they would teach you, right? And but it is, yeah. Don't even, as Karthik said, they're very, very different. Don't even have to think. They just happen to be the core courses, mandatory courses for the DS side, but they're very, very different. Sorry, I'm just Srinivasan here. I'm just sharing my perspective as a student, and I did them 2 years ago, so that way I may be dated on this.
Yeah, I don't think much should have changed. I think that should be quite accurate now also.
So
It's
for
such a
AI, so for the AI, you are saying that I should brush up the PDSA and data DSA part.
See, Bishop, you will hear, see, most of the time they would actually tell you, right, what it is. So if you want, you can watch the videos ahead of time. But actually, for every course, I felt them, once you get the video, you can go back and redo some of it. I have not done any, pre work, right? I look at the videos, then I realize that, for example, in ADS, I realized that I need to know a bit more about eigenvalues and eigenvectors. And I went and looked at the linear algebra course. And again, I went and looked at Gilbert Strang's videos. So that's how I learn. So I don't do this too much ahead of time. But everybody has their method.
Yeah, okay, but still it is related to PDSA and data structure part. So,
Okay. Yeah. So thanks for joining. We'll meet again in respective courses. Okay.
sir, and this term you'll be taking deep learning or ADS?
Yeah. So this time I'll be in ADS. I don't know about deep learning yet.
Okay, sir. Okay. So this time you're ADS.